It's time for the deep dive where we go beyond the surface. Yes, we do. We explore what it really means to adopt the practice mindset today. Today, we're going to focus on somebody who truly embodies this approach. Our friend, our co-host, Rich Ingram. Now, listen, guys, if you don't know Rich's story, it's one of resilience, discipline, and transformation. Yeah, from his time in the military, where he mastered the art of practice as a gunner, to his recovery after losing his arm in combat, all the way to now becoming the elite endurance athlete that he is. Richie practices the power of practice in real life. Without the power of the practice mindset, Richie is not where he is today. Rich, you learned the importance of the practice mindset in some of the most high pressure environments on the planet, frankly, starting in the military, now in your endurance athletic journey. Richie, how did you develop the mindset in a role where practicing those techniques wasn't just important? Frankly, it was a matter of life and death. Rich, talk about this idea of the practice mindset to change your life. Rich Ingram.
So, one, what the military taught me was battle drills. They remove the decision-making process, right, for the most part. So it frees up your brain to do other things. So in the civilian world, it's no different, right? That's when we talk about consistency. Jon is big on habits. It's the same thing. And so when we can develop habits, put our brains on autopilot on doing the same thing, it frees up our brains to take on these unforeseen challenges that arise, right? So we can handle more stress, we can handle more of the trauma and put more effort towards our emotional stability. Now, at the time when I was in the military, I didn't really understand that. It took me a long time when I started studying this. And what I found is that you have to look at pains and gains as equitable and part of the process. And so, again, you know, what Marty was saying earlier about, okay, whatever emotions, whether they're positive or negative, don't let the emotions pass by. We don't want them to control us, but at the same time, if I'm feeling anxious.
Oh, we lost Richie's audio. Hey, Johnny, so Richie, I lost your audio there, pal. Johnny and Marty, there's this idea that practicing can only take you so far. And I'm going to be specific with both you, Christopher Martin, and you, Jon Anderson. Because, Chris, you're like, I had to fucking work for all of my athletic skill. I had to put in the reps. And, Johnny, I think you said the same thing. Some would argue that you either have the natural ability or you don't.
Oh, man.
Can you actually – so, Jon, okay, I'll start with you because I can see you leaning in. And, Marty, I'm going to follow up with you. Jon,
cut me loose, baby.
Tell a person listening right now, it's like, oh, fuck, I don't have the ability. I don't want to, I can't put the work in to do it. No, I don't think there's not enough reps that could teach me to be as good as Jon Anderson or as Christopher Martin. Johnny, dispel that myth.
Yeah. First off, I would argue that I started off more subpar, so to speak, than most people listening. And when it comes to practice, granted, I learned that practice was my way to problem solve as a youngster, but let's forget about when I was a youngster. I'm 52 years old. I'm a successful dude. I've had multiple seven-figure businesses. I've had 3 different sporting careers on an international basis. I've got a great family. And let me tell you something. I practice being the man I want to be every day of my life. It's never stopped, because when we practice, we're getting better. And as soon as we stop practicing and get better, the whole idea of waking up and feeling good goes away, because strip it down to the bare minimum. When you do whatever you do today to feel like you got a little bit better, when you go to bed, you feel good. If you lay your head down on the pillow and you knew you laid up, you didn't do your shit, you don't feel good. And break it to the most simple format. Practice every day what you need to practice to get a little bit better so you can go to bed and feel good about yourself.
Marty.
Absolutely. And I love that about going to bed and you know whether you did your shit or not, because it's going to eat you alive, and you're not going to be able to sleep well. And so a lot of people have that feeling, but they still can't look in the mirror and say, hey, I should have done X, Y, Z. Because if you think about confidence, what builds confidence? In my opinion, I feel like accomplishing difficult tasks build confidence. And those difficult tasks are the shit that you thinking about at night that you didn't do. So,
but Marty, let me challenge you though, brother. Let's go back and forth for a second, because somebody's laying there going, nah, but fuck, I can't do it, man. I can't. There's not enough time in the day. There's not enough time in the week. I got my kids. I got my family. I got all these obligations. I got my mom stressing me out. There's no way that I have enough time to put in enough repetitions, to create enough habits to change my life. Practicing is not part of my mindset. Convince me otherwise, Marty. Jon Anderson.
I always, first, Mark. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be quick. I'll let you cut loose, man. All right. I'll say that wherever it is that you want to be. So let's say you want to be the all-star dad who's handling business. I'm the family man, doing my shit in the house. Do you think there isn't a dad out there who's done that, who hasn't been through what you've been through? And I think a lot of people, they'll make the excuse and think that maybe someone who's where they want to be have had an easier path. And that's not the case necessarily all the time. And so at the end of the day, where do you want to be? You want to be the all-star dad, or you want to be the trash dad? That's how I look at it. So.
Yeah, Johnny.
When it comes down to it, I have yet to meet a single person who I've coached who's come to me that said, I don't have enough time. And once we do an audit, there's plenty of time. Mm-hmm. They're just not using their time properly. And when you start to help them understand that there is time, they're just choosing to waste that time, then it'll open up a different thought process. When just by someone saying, I can't, right then and there, they're relinquishing the accountability of even trying to figure it out. So when someone says, I can't, I don't have enough time, you pretty much guarantee they have the time. They haven't tried to figure it out. So if you want to practice something, yes, you can practice something. The question is, are you going to take accountability for the time you're wasting to actually put it into the shit that you want to be practicing? And I think when it comes down to it, a lot of people will say what they want. But we live in a society where it's easy to say, oh yeah, I want this, I want that. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty of doing the shit you don't want to do, all of a sudden what they want is hiding behind, I can't, I don't have time.
Yeah. Yes. Listen, if there's one thing we can take from Rich's story, we got Richie back here, it's that, and even from Jon and Marty, it's that the practice mindset, I believe, is more than just showing up, right? It's about believing. That's what we sell here on the show. That's what we sell here every single day, is believing, possibility, being able to achieve things that you don't think you can, through accountability, through constant showing up. But really what it comes down to, doesn't it, Richie, is that you have to believe that no matter the obstacle, no matter how hard the road is going to be in front of you, mom walks into the hospital and looks at you and says, here's the fishing rod. And you're like, what the fuck, man? What's the one thing you want our audience right now, Richie, to know, that the takeaway from your journey about that it's more than just showing up, it's knowing and believing, Rich Ingram, knowing and believing that you can improve by showing up every single fucking day. Richie.
Yeah, I think, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, got you, baby.
Yeah.
I think you have to intimately know that you are fucking enough. There is nothing. If someone comes to me and asks me, hey, do you think you can do this? Do I think I can do it? I know I can fucking do it. So I wake up every day with the mindset of, hey, I'm going to fucking dominate today. And that's how I attack it. And it's a fucking attack, dude. We come in with the fucking purpose and we roll.
Dude, I fucking love that energy, man. I love that. And listen, if you're feeling inspired by Rich's journey, I'm going to tell you, man, hit that subscribe button, like it, share it with friends, drop us a comment, and let us know how you're practicing that resilience in your life. Started this show, Johnny, 1 second. We started the show to give you guys something to lean into. If you're whirling over and starting your day going, fuck, I don't have the support mechanism. No, you do. You got Rich Ingram over here. You got Jon Anderson over here. You got C. Marty Fit over here. You got Christina. You got Keith. We all struggle like you guys do. We just show up repetitiously believing that we can achieve this. When I showed up in March to start this morning show, and then I called Marty a few months later, I believe we're creating the biggest thing ever, right? And it's this innate belief that you can achieve it. So listen, every single day, 8 o'clock Eastern time, we start the show to help you guys get rolling. Johnny, before we hit the lifestyle tip, you had a comment you want to make. Jon Anderson.
Yeah, I just wanted to for everyone out there with this whole idea of I don't have time, I want to start to do this, but I can't. It's like all of these hurdles are in front of you that you're creating for yourself. Just remember this. The man who believes he can and the man he believes he cannot are both correct.
Oh my goodness. Isn't that true though?
Dude,
Right?
He's coming out with the nuggets today, man. I'm telling you.
And I guess from that perspective of Johnny, before we get to lifestyle tip, is that you got to battle which one is which, right? So
It's a choice. You got to make the choice. Are you going to believe that you can and start taking accountability? Or are you going to hide behind I can't? Because if you believe you can't, you're correct. If you believe you can, you're also correct. It's just a different path of doing it.